Thank you, Mr. Clark. Good morning. And on behalf of our colleagues at Spatial Innovision Limited, we'd like to welcome you to our first of our ArcGIS webinar series. We'd like to say thank you for being here and taking the time to participate in our webinar. All participants have been entered in mute mode, and questions can be submitted in the questions and answer section in your Zoom interface. There is also a raise hand button that can be utilized. This webinar will be recorded. So there are three topics that we're going to cover in today's webinar. Firstly, we're going to be covering ArcGIS, the Universal GIS, by explaining what is ArcGIS and the components of the location platform. We're going to show you the power of this location platform throughout the webinar series with demonstrations. The second section of our webinar will be presented by Nicola Simpson-Lake, and the topics that will be covered are unlocking the value of ArcGIS with apps, which is an introduction to the various apps available with the ArcGIS platform. And then the third presentation will be on the ArcGIS Pro Experience, which is a desktop application for ArcGIS platform. We're here to make this morning valuable to you by providing you with useful information that you can utilize in your office and apply to help you get value from meeting your organization's requirements through this location platform. This webinar is all about learning. We want you to understand that ArcGIS is a universal GIS platform and what that means to you as an individual, as a team member, a department, or an entire organization. We want to show you how you can make that difference within your organization. So ArcGIS is a comprehensive universal geographic information system, GIS, platform that enables everyone to work with and use geographic information to increase efficiencies and make better decisions. As you can see in the diagram on the slide, GIS can be applied throughout the world in various industries, ranging from the commercial sector for identification of a suitable location for commercial business through site selection. Then you have identification of shortest routes for emergency management through network analysis. Another application, web and watershed analysis for water resource management. Then you have land management for land parcel management, and demographic analysis for statistics. These are just a few of the various applications GIS can be utilized for. So now we're going to be discussing the 6 patterns of GIS. So a common set of GIS usage patterns exists across industries. This framework assists with understanding how Esri's ArcGIS platform align with your specific organizational business needs. Organizations that comprehensively implement all the essential patterns of their location strategy typically reap the greatest business benefits and return on their GIS investments. So now I'm going to go into more detail into these 6 patterns. So firstly, you have location enablement. And this empowers everyone participating in your GIS platform implementation with self-service capabilities to discover, use, make, and share maps. Secondly, you have a constituent engagement, which consists of collating and disseminating information to and from external stakeholders. This process helps the organization engage stakeholders and make more informed decisions. Thirdly, you have decision support, and this is concerned with visualizing data and information on a map or dashboard to better understand organizational activities, projects, and operations. From a technology perspective, this pattern involves combining both data and analytical layers, organizing them in a map, and publishing that map over the intranet or internet for consumption in applications. So the first 3 patterns that were mentioned forms part of the system of engagement. So now for the remaining 3. So you have field mobility, and this represents executing workflows to support the exchange of information to and from the field, supporting out-of-office business operations. This pattern assists with improved visibility of field aspects of your organization and improved workforce scheduling, among others. Fifth, you have analytics, and this involves the application of analytical techniques to obtain actionable information from geographic data. This information obtained can describe, predict, and improve business performances. Accurate analytics are dependent on sound location data management practices. And lastly, you have location data management, which includes the collection, organization, and exchange of geographic data. And these last three forms part of the system of record. So the recommended approach is to utilize the above-mentioned 6 essential patterns as a guideline to track both current and future GIS utilization in your organization. If gaps are identified, consider utilizing the capabilities of the ArcGIS platform to fill the gaps and maximize the value of your GIS investment. So now we're going to get into knowing the ArcGIS platform. ArcGIS is a platform for providing mapping, analysis, and data management, as well as enabling collaboration across an organization. You can use the platform to discover, use, make, and share maps from any device, anywhere, anytime. The ArcGIS platform provides ways to connect users by facilitating and encouraging sharing and collaboration. Our third webinar will be on sharing and collaboration. It is a platform that anyone can use to work with maps and geographic information. The platform runs on professional desktops, servers, the cloud, standard web browsers, smartphones, mobile devices, and tablets. The way you choose to interact with the platform is based on what you would like to accomplish. So now it's time to delve a little deeper into ArcGIS. In this section, we will review ArcGIS, the Universal GIS, and its components. We will discuss the benefits of implementing ArcGIS and review a customer success story to help you identify factors of success that you can bring back to your organization. So ArcGIS, a Universal GIS platform. Various persons work with geographic information through maps, not just printed maps, but online interactive maps that provide insights into an organization's information, analytical tools, key tasks, and workflows that people use every day to work more effectively. As shown in the diagram, the base of the platform is made up of maps and data hosted with cloud, server, and open systems that produce these services, which are consumed through apps. One of the apps that will be demonstrated is called ArcGIS Pro, which is represented in the upper left of the diagram as a desktop app. Apps are how you access the content in the ArcGIS platform. They make your data and analytics come to life for anyone on any device, anywhere, anytime. Apps are desktop, browser-based, and apps that run on mobile devices. The more people within your organization that are utilizing these apps, the more the value of GIS can be unlocked for your organization. The ArcGIS platform has been designed to support small groups or large and most advanced organizations. The ArcGIS platform is flexible and scalable to grow with you and meet your current and future needs. So ArcGIS is evolving. ArcGIS is a technology platform, and that means that like all technology platforms, it evolves based on user demand and changes in business, technology, and the market. Think about how smartphones and focused, easy-to-use apps have changed our views on what we want in applications at work. So this evolution is not a huge shift, it's more of a change in terminology, describing familiar concepts. So out of the list that is shown on the slide, I would like to highlight 3 important concepts. So the first, we have gone from simply supporting client server to also supporting web services and apps. This has implications in terms of accessibility for your organizations, as anyone can access the power of ArcGIS with easy-to-use apps. Secondly, we'll move from custom applications, where it takes a lot of expertise, time, and money to develop and support them, to configurable apps that are lower risk, cheaper, and quicker to deploy, and supported by Spatial Innovision and Esri. Thirdly, we'll move from digital cartography to smart mapping, where your data is analyzed and suggestions are made to automatically help create better maps and tell better stories. So we've gone through the components of ArcGIS Platform, and now we're going to go through the different deployment patterns. So Esri provides flexible deployment patterns for the various components of the ArcGIS platform. The first is our software as a service model. ArcGIS Online, which is a cloud service where Esri manages supporting infrastructure and service level agreement with you. The second is ArcGIS Enterprise, where you manage the infrastructure, which can be on-premise or on the cloud. The third option is a combination of the two, and this is considered a hybrid approach. So these support the foundation capabilities. ArcGIS Enterprise expands some of the capabilities that are not available with ArcGIS Online. The deployment pattern selected would depend on the business needs of your organization. So ArcGIS Online, as mentioned, is a complete software as a service, GIS, that is hosted by Esri. Esri has done a lot of work in evolving ArcGIS Online in the last year. We have introduced smart mapping tools, open data, vector tile support, social logins, and so on. What's coming is improved search and data management tools, raster analysis, as well as more ready-to-use content. So now we're going to look at the usage of ArcGIS Online. There are now over 3 million users with an annual growth rate of 30%. In the last year, there have been over 94 billion web map views, growing at 35%. There have been 6.2 million items shared with a growth rate of 40%. In terms of data downloads, just since the beginning of the year, there have been about 50 million open data downloads with a growth rate of over 400%. These are impressive numbers and provide good indication of the growth in the adoption of ArcGIS Online. So now to speak about ArcGIS Enterprise. So ArcGIS Enterprise is a complete GIS hosted within your own infrastructure that can be on-premise or in a cloud such as Amazon or Microsoft Azure, or whatever you want. While both approaches provide the same foundational ArcGIS capabilities, ArcGIS Enterprise allows you to control the supporting infrastructure, including the service level agreement. It also provides access to additional capabilities not currently available in ArcGIS Online. These include GeoAnalytics Server, raster analytics, and insights for ArcGIS, and we'll be showing you more in future webinars. These are not only the two options that are available in terms of deployment patterns. Many customers have the need to implement both ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Enterprise. This hybrid configuration combines the capabilities of both to let you take advantage of each environment's unique strengths to build a complete system. In fact, by combining both options, you get the most power and flexibility out of the platform. So now we'd like to set the context by sharing a customer story. We're going to review parts of the video, and the aim is for you to have some takeaway to see how you can learn and apply it to your organization. The customer story is about Cal OES and how they apply ArcGIS. We have selected a customer story that will resonate with the Caribbean region, as emergency management is a field that each island may face from time to time.
My name is Dan Bout, and I serve as the Assistant Director for Response at the California Governor's Office of Emergency Services. Cal OES is responsible for all disasters that occur in California that exceed the locals' abilities to respond to them. Far and away, the biggest challenge we have as it relates to data in an incident is synthesizing data into information that's useful. So there's a huge potential for miscommunication. And as you get more and more data feeds, that becomes a more and more salient issue.
Here is the latest on the breaking news we're following out of Northern California. A strong earthquake.
Parts of Napa got hit hard, hammered by this quake early this morning. One example.
The Napa earthquake truly showed us the power of visualizing information. The ability that we had at that time to create flat maps in a not so speedy way kind of showed a gap that we had in our ability to really visualize the information and get it out in a fast manner.
You know, the people on the ground, they need the tools so that problems can be solved during activation, so resources can be deployed timely and effectively.
So during the Napa earthquake, the decision was made to bring Esri in to kind of show us what is possible, you know, what capabilities they have.
That was actually, I think, probably one of those key use cases for moving to a digital map. The ability to start seeing water leaks in real time and like, okay, when did that happen? 3 minutes ago. That is something that you couldn't do with a paper map.
We went from, at best, 5% of online products to 95%. And that actually happened in about, say, 6 or 9 months of the Napa earthquake.
Now you have all the current data that's available, and it may change as you're looking at it, and it's real time. You're looking at what's happening now, not what happened 12 hours ago.
What they showed us that day during Napa earthquake was a story map. It's interactive. It allows us to take a look at the shake map, take a look at the shelters, take a look at whatever information that we're discussing. This allows us to be able to really give the decision makers what they need.
GIS changed the way we do business. We now have the go-to products. We know that this is what we need to do as a requirement. So that would be part of our common operational picture.
During the fires was the first time we really used the dashboards this year, and we were able to provide a visual of acreage, burn, current damage assessments. The dashboard provides that snapshot. It saves time. You know, instead of somebody stopping in the middle of an operation to brief someone, they can just walk in, look at the wall, and see exactly what they want to see.
One of the areas that I think we're deliberately going to move to is taking a tool like ArcGIS mapping capability and using that as a mitigation tool.
Where I see us going is to get hooked up to every single county statewide. So when an event happens, we flip the switch on and absorb their data, and then I can just visualize it.
The bottom line in emergency management is we are going to be successful. There's not a lot of trying involved. You have to make it work because it's, you know, it's people's lives, it's families, it's their property. I mean, it's the things that are most core to our identity and to who we see ourselves as a nation.
The technology is there, and we know that it's available, and we leverage to the best of our abilities. It's my dream come true. I mean, it's great.
So we saw in the Cal OES video that ArcGIS is a transformational technology. So Chai Smith, the GIS division chief, said it has changed the way they do business. So most organizations are organized like the hierarchical system on the left of the slide. This structure is formal, secure, and slow. If someone at the top needs something, the request flows down through multiple levels to a specialist in operations who then produces the product and sends it back up through the layers. The diagram on the right depicts how people want to work. It is networked, agile, and diverse. We need to help enable the movement of information throughout the organization via a network, and that is what the ArcGIS platform can do. So let's look closer at the Cal OES staff and discuss their benefits from ArcGIS on a personal level. I'm sure you have similar persons in your organization. This will allow you to help identify similar people and use the ideas from this video to support them in their work with GIS. So ArcGIS user roles. So the ArcGIS platform required is dependent on the staff responsibility and tasks needed to be accomplished within your organization. The ArcGIS user roles are based on personas and not the actual business title of the staff member. So now I'm going to break down the ArcGIS user roles. So you have 5 different user roles. Firstly, you have the expert. So the expert is a GIS professional and data scientist who perform advanced geospatial analysis, visualization, mapping, and data management. Then you have the data creator, individuals who create and maintain authoritative maps and the geospatial database. Then you have the analyst. This is the individual that perform analysis, visualization, and mapping. Then you have the contributor. This is a knowledge worker who creates, updates, and share maps and related content. The last user role I'm going to go through is a viewer. And this is for everyone that views and interacts with existing maps. So in the Cal OES video, we saw Dan, who is the Assistant Director of Response, and his ArcGIS user role will be a viewer. So Dan is a viewer of maps and apps and talked about how their largest challenge is synthesizing data into information that is useful, and that there's a huge potential for miscommunication. The more data, the larger the challenge an organization will face. This shows the importance of effective data management, and this is one of the GIS patterns that were mentioned earlier. Data doesn't solve problems or answer questions. It is our job to use the GIS to make the information actionable and then get it to those that need it in an easy-to-use, accessible format, and ArcGIS can make that happen. He talked about the importance of real-time data access. The only way to achieve this is migrating off static maps, whether they are paper, PDF, JPEG, etc., and move to more live, interactive, and digital web maps. You and the GIS expert are the ones who can make this happen through great data editing and management. The 4 apps that will assist Dan are Configurable Apps, Story Maps, Operation Dashboard, which were mentioned, and also Insights for ArcGIS. All the apps mentioned will be shown in our webinar series. We will be providing the apps card deck in our mail-out package to you, the participants, after the webinar. So another Cal OES staff member that we saw was Dwayne, and he's in response operations, and his ArcGIS user role will be a contributor. So Dwayne is a contributor. He helps share maps and related data. He talked about the difference after their GIS transition from their activation during the fires and how they could see key information in real time and witness the data changing. How they were seeing what was happening now, not 12 hours ago. He mentioned that the live dashboard provided instant access to the current situation. And the apps that Dwayne would utilize are the same as Dan: configurable apps, story map, operations dashboard, and insights for ArcGIS. So the last staff member that we're going to be looking at is Chai, and she is the GIS division chief for the Geographic Information Services section, and her ArcGIS user role will be considered an expert. So Chai is an expert user role and supports the organization with the power of location through the provision of services and tools for internal and external customers. She said that now they can meet their user requirements with go-to products, and that the technology is there. They just leverage it via their abilities. And how? It was a dream come true. You are the ones who made her dream come true. Many of you are the contributors who create and share web maps and apps. So within your organization, you may have a Dan, Dwayne, or Chai who need access to information through various apps. And this brings to an end the first part of our webinar series. I'd like to tell you thank you, and are there any questions and answers? And the second half of our webinar series will be conducted by Nicola Simpson-Lake.